the sexy train, climb aboard the insane jiving train. I'm gonna jive you, teach you heavy metal news. We're gonna have some fun, some laughs, and maybe some blues. Hot cakes. Jive with me. We're gonna end this song in 3, 2, 1, and 3. Oh, Jesus. They just come to me naturally. Kind of like Michael Jackson used to do, you know. Michael Jackson, he didn't really know how to play the instruments, but he could go in there and say, okay, and now record my voice, and he would go, I guess, and then he'd do something else, you know. And the beat's going, and they would overlay that, and then they would get people to come in and write the music. Kind of what I'm doing here, kind of what I'm doing, kind of good at it. Welcome one and all back to episode 81 of the Jive Talkin with Shane Diablo. I welcome you so deeply. I know that this podcast probably doesn't get listened to more than 15 seconds because I play that lousy keyboard and they go, nope, not gonna even try it. But we're gonna get into this episode 81. We got stories galore, interesting news nuggets, if you will, and your comments. Okay, so let's get into it. You know who this fella is with the black circles around the eyes and stuff. It's Alice Cooper. He's the king of shock rock and roll. He does a song, I'm 18, and Poison, and he does all sorts of songs like that. He announces the, quote, Road album details. Shares I'm Alice single. We're going to have to check this tune out at some point. But it says here, iconic rock and roll Hall of Fame inductee Alice Cooper will release his new album, Roads, on August 25th via Ear Music. The LP first single is I'm Alice. So the song will be I'm Alice on the Road, I'm Alice in the House, is available down below. Should we listen to a little nugget of it? Produced by longtime collaborator Bob Ezrin, Road was written, composed, and recorded with Alice's trusted longtime bandmates Ryan Roxy, guitar, Chuck Garrick, bass, Tommy Henriksen, guitar, Glenn Sobel, drums, and Nita, the neat lady, Nita Strauss, guitar. Road channels the spirit of old school Alice with instantly recognizable grit and plenty of gusto. It's everything you'd hope for from him and more. Says, in the past, the shows got reviewed before the music did. We had hit number one. We had hit number one albums, but it was always about what we did on stage. For Road, I wanted the band to be involved in the foundation of all the songs. I only see these good guys when we're on the road, so I wanted them to be as tight as they are for the show, but on a new album. That's what we did for this record. When you have a band this good, I believe in showing it off. And this is my way of doing so. The album opener, the first single, I'm Alice, set the tone for the album with its driving drum beats as guitars wail in the distance. Alice's instantly recognizable rasp takes hold. I know you're looking for a real good time, so let me introduce you to a friend of mine. I'm Alice. I'm the master of madness, the sultan of surprise. So don't be afraid. Just look in my eyes. He is a freaking poet. He's like that Herman Melville or Maya Angelou. Road is going to be released in a wide variety of formats and limited vinyl colors, complementing the album's theme. The bonus DVD/Blu-ray comes with Alice Cooper's 2022 full live show at Hellfest and includes all the classic and rarely played gems. Yep, and there's the track listing. And then there's the DVD Blu-ray that you can get with it. Scott, that's a good set list, right? So there you go there, old Alice. Still at it, still going, still sounding strong, still not using backing tapes. We got a story about that. Wolfgang's going to chime in here in a bit. And he's going to tell us what he thinks about backing tapes. Can I blow my nose? Is it wrong to blow it on my shirt? I don't know. I mean, I'm not technically in a radio station or something like that, where that would be uncalled for. But let's get into this next story here. Typo Negative. Kenny, guitar player Kenny here. He wants Axl Rose to sing at the hypothetical. There's no setup thing, but a Peter Steele Tribute concert. So I wanted to see what old Kenny had to say about it. See how he's doing. He's in several kind of doomy, gloomy bands. And we've done a couple of them, I think, here on this channel. Oh, had to freshen the buds. Typo Negative guitarist wants Axl Rose. You'll never get him, Kenny. I'm sorry. You'll never get him. Wants Axl Rose to sing at a hypothetical Peter Steele tribute concert. In an interview with Scott Penfold of Loaded Radio, Typo Negative guitarist Kenny Hickey, that's his last name, Hickey, was asked if he is surprised by the enduring popularity of his former band more than 13 years after the passing of Typo frontman Peter Steele. He responded as transcribed, "Yeah, it's surprising. And I'm very grateful for it, believe me. I mean, the band that's transcended, which is amazing, it's reached a whole new generation of people. We're doing better than we were doing before Peter passed. There's a whole resurgence on it, which is good. It's a testament to the work we put into and the honesty we put into the years of sweat. There was realism to the music." Hickey also, that probably sounds closer to Peter Steele, but we'll just use it for him. Hickey also talked about the possibility of him and the other surviving members of Typo Negative Can Never Be Done staging a Peter Steele tribute, okay, that can be done, with various guest musicians. He said, "Hey, listen, people have approached us to try and reform the band with a singer and go on the road." He knows the right thing to say here. Kenny's smart. Kenny did the high-pitched vocals, so anytime you heard that, yeah, kind of voice, that was Kenny doing it. So he knows there's no replacing Peter Steele. "Hey, look, people have approached us to try to reform the fucking band, huh? With a singer and go on the road. Ain't gonna happen. Because everybody wants a money grab. They want fucking money in the hands. We personally don't think Peter is replaceable by anybody. And it just wouldn't work." And he's right. He is right. That guy's voice was so deep and rich and low. You could never find and it would sound weird if you got someone, well, just tune him down or do something goofy with the voice. He continues, "Hey, looky here. A tribute I'd love to do. I mean, I'm sure Johnny Kelly, drums, would love to do it. I know Josh Silver, keyboards, would do it because Josh is picking up body parts in East New York during his work as a paramedic. He's not going to stop that to start rehearsing, but yeah, we would do it with guest musicians and stuff. If somebody had the idea and got it together and got the logistics together, sure, I would do it. I would be into it." Yeah, I remember that. Josh Silver, after Typo Negative, he went to school or something, went and became a paramedic in New York. When Penfold noted that Kelly previously picked Heart's Ann Wilson as a singer who would like to tackle Steele's parts during a hypothetical tribute concert, Hickey said, "Ann Wilson would be fucking out of this world. But she probably never heard of us." As for whom he would choose to sing at such an event, Kenny said, "Axl Rose. He's in a band called the Guns N' the Roses. It would be very fucking cool to hear Axl sing like Typo. Love You to Death. That would be a great tune for Axl to sing, would be Love You to Death. That song's like 35 minutes long. Steele passed away in April 2010 from heart failure at the age of 48. Born, Petrus T. Ratachkik on January 4th, 1962 in Brooklyn, New York. He stood 6'7", tall, and had a low, bass-heavy voice, which was one of the most recognizable features in Type O Negative's music. So there you have that. Hey, we're staying in Brooklyn. We're staying in Brooklyn because guess who's up? This is fucking Vinnie Stigma, the guitar player of Agnostic Front. You know what he says? I ain't gonna retire. I watched a great hardcore documentary the other night. It was on Tubi if you'd like to look it up. I can't remember the name of it, but I guess type hardcore in there. But there was a great documentary. And I'm loving Vinnie. I mean, he was instantly just a bang. You know, I don't know a lot of Agnostic Front's music, but it made me want to go listen to a hell of a lot more. New York hardcore legend Vinnie Stigma of Agnostic Front was asked in a new interview with Grass Pop Metal Meeting if he thinks about slowing down or possibly even retiring from performing live in a not too distant future. The 67-year-old guitarist responded as transcribed by the Blabbermouth. Now, I'm not gonna retire. I'm gonna do this for as long as I can. My health, my spiritual, my mental health is great. Well, I don't know about my mental health, but yeah, I'm great. I'm doing great. I'm in good shape. I'm ready to fucking play a show right now. Asked what fans can expect from Agnostic Front's performance at today's Grass Pop meeting. Oh, I wonder what he says. In Dessel, Belgium, Vinnie said, well, let me tell you something. I'm going to leave it all on the stage. I always do. I'm going to do the best, try to connect with the audience, and I always do. Because the most important thing is the audience, always. I'm for them. I'm here for them. I'm here to play for them. Grass Pop is a great festival, man. One of the best in the fucking world. One of the best festivals in Europe, for sure. I may have been paraphrasing that a little bit. This wasn't the documentary. I'm going to watch that documentary right now, but this is not the one. As featured in the award-winning documentary, The Godfathers of Hardcore, on the groundbreaking and subculture-defining music and recordings with bands like Agnostic Front, Madball, and Stigma since 1980, Vinnie is truly a music legend, synonymous with hardcore and punk rock from the mean streets of the Lower East Side. What made CBGB world famous. And if I remember correctly, he lives in the same apartment he has always lived in. He's never moved out of the building. Like his whole family lived in this building, and they're all still there, or he's still in that same apartment he's been in his entire life. Fantastic. Had to wet the whistle. I'm getting a stuffy nose. I don't know what that means. Agnostic Front's 12th studio album, Get Loud, was released in November 2019 via Nuclear Blast. The LP was produced by singer Roger Miret. Yeah. Vinnie and him, they've been going at it for a long time, but I think they were saying Miret lives in Arizona or something now. While longtime friend Paul Miner handled the recording, mixing, and mastering of this record at Buzz Bomb Studios in Orange, California. For the artwork, the band returned to the 1986 Cause for Alarm artist Sean Taggart. It features the iconic Cause for Alarm characters, combined with a modern and sweet, fresh twist. Let's get a little taste of Vinnie talking here. He's going to say a little bit of what I just said.
Grass Pop Metal Meeting 2023, Day 1, and we're starting off with nothing more, nothing less than pure hardcore royalty. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
yes,
Vinnie Stigma of Agnostic Front. Hi, Vinnie, how are you?
Doing great, man.
Welcome back.
Put the microphone in his face, buddy. Don't say how you doing and keep the microphone up to your lips. You hand it over to Vinnie. You fucking give it to Vinnie, buddy. Come on, you.
First time you've been here. You've been around for like more
Give him
than
the
40
mic.
years.
42. But who's
42, yeah.
He's not putting the freaking microphone up to his mouth.
Does that mean that every time you come at a festival like
You
this,
better
it
stick
feels
that
like
mic.
home?
Oh yeah. Well, all my friends are here.
Uh-huh.
You know, everybody's here that I know. I've been playing these festivals for a lot of years. I've been coming to Belgium a lot of years. You know, hey.
I mean, either he don't know how to, he's horrified, and he's got the microphone, and he doesn't want to put it in his fucking face, pal. Or Vinny said, hey, look, buddy, I don't want your big fucking muffin top microphone touching my lips, okay? I don't want that happening. So when you tell me a question, you just leave that dirty big muffin top microphone right in front of your dirty face, okay? Don't do it. Maybe. Wolfgang here. Look at that little plump roll. I mean, is that just the cheeks you want to squeeze? The cheeks a father can love? I could just picture Eddie Van Halen just ripping a sweet solo and then turning and seeing that plump little face and giving it a pinch. Wolfgang Van Halen blasts bands who rely heavily on backing tracks. You should be able to play your shit. And this guy has the validation to say it because he literally plays all the instruments, okay? So he knows what he's talking about. Former Van Halen bassist and current Mammoth WVH frontman Wolfgang Van Halen has once again blasted bands who rely heavily on pre-recorded tracks during their live performances. In a recent interview, more and more artists have been given a pass for relying on pre-recorded tracks, drum triggers, and other assorted technologies that make concerts more synthetic, but also more consistent, for better or worse. Pre-recorded tracks are becoming increasingly common for touring artists of all levels and genres, and they're not just used in pop music. Many rock artists utilize playback tracks to varying degrees. Speaking to Coffee with Ola, the YouTube program hosted by Ola England, the Swedish guitarist, record producer, and owner of Solar Guitars, about some rock acts' reliance on pre-recorded tracks. Wolfgang said, as transcribed, hell, half the people live, it's tracks nowadays, which is such a huge, it's just a fucking bummer, man. Look, I think everybody else draws their own line with the tracks are acceptable or not. But it's like, if you're pumping in the main guitar riff and the lead vocal and the actual fucking drums, like pre-recorded drums, that's a problem. You should be able to play your shit. I can't understand if you don't have a keyboard player, so you need the pad. Oh, I can understand if you don't have a keyboard player and you need the pad, that's fine. You can't carry around a 60-piece orchestra, so you've got the strings, that's fine. But lead vocal, main guitar, main bass, and the drums, you should be playing that shit. Ha, 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 ha. When Ola England, brought up the question of whether overproduction in modern music has led to an over-reliance on backing tracks to recreate certain sounds, Wolfgang said, I never do anything in the studio that I can't do live. Sure, there are tricks that you can do to stuff that you wouldn't normally be able to do, but why would you want to do that? Because it's about creating music that you're capable of doing. Very good point. It's about creating music that you're capable of doing and that you can do live. I go to concerts to see bands play the fuck out of their music. Like Meshuggah. Wow, he's a Meshuggah fan. That's interesting. That was my favorite concert I'll ever see. Because they just kill it. They just stand there and they just play the fuck out of their music. I don't go to a concert to see guy going around and being like, how are you feeling tonight? That's not my shit. Like Tool. What? That's not my shit, period. Like Tool, They stand there and they destroy. That's what I love about music. And that's what we try to do with Mammoth. That's the first and foremost. We are playing everything and we're doing it in the best of our ability. Kiss frontman Paul Stanley, we know all this, who has been struggling to hit the high notes in many of the band's classic songs for a number of years, has been accused of singing to backing tapes on Kiss's ongoing The End of the Road tour. Well, I'm not going to dive too much deeper into that, but I will say this, is I saw about a story with, about 6 videos. It says, watch Kiss do the warm-up or whatever for the, it's like you pay $5,000 or something, you got to go watch him sound check. And every single song they did, Paul didn't sing a tune. They did, they even let Tommy Thayer do a tune, Shock Me or whatever. So no warm-ups for him. He was saving it all for the stage. Stephen Pearcy, do you know him? Kind of looks like a rat in the face, right? You looking for a little cheese where he's got his lips there? Shane, give me a bit of cheese. Give me cheese, Shane. Give me cheese. Stephen Pearcy says some of the bands in the 80s are falsely claiming to be from the Sunset Strip when they came from Pennsylvania or wherever. Who do you think he's talking about? Remember that last story we were talking about where he was talking about his great buddies and, the Wasp and Motley Crue, and they were called the Dirty Stallions or whatever? I bet I brought up Poison. We'll find out. Here we go. In a new interview with Mike Heisu of 100 FM, the Pike radio station, Stephen Pearcy was asked about the possibility of one final Rats classic lineup reunion with him on the vocals. Warren DiMartini, we talked about all this. I can kick a dead rat only so much. You can say a horse. I made the effort and put out the calls, and it's all good. Some bands are supposed to be around for their term, and none of us know what it is. And if that's the case, I'm very proud of our legacy. I continue doing what I am. I started the band, created the band, and if that's it, that's it. I am not done yet. I'm still out there with what I'm calling the Sunset Strip experience and making sure that our new fans that we continually have understand the real trip about the Sunset Strip experience, because a lot of the bands, these 80s bands, call it hair bands. I really don't care. A lot of them are taking claim. They're taking claim, period. They're not from the Sunset Strip. They came from Pennsylvania. They came from whoever or wherever. But the real Sunset Strip experience is what we're developing for some really cool stuff. Some way cool stuff for next year. And I'm out doing my thing, playing the songs I wrote with the band, and it's all good. I'm having a great time. It's amazing how young folks we're getting at the shows. I mean, whoa! It's amazing how many young folks we're getting at the shows. In a separate interview with Sinclair Broadcasting Group, Pearcy said that he continues to play 150 shows a year with his solo band and bring the music back to the fans who still appreciate it. In an era when a lot of that other 1980s hard rock acts have called it quits. So many bands from the 80s are pulling out. I mean, this is getting to be the end of an era. That's why I'm out with my Sunset Strip experience, and fans are digging it. They pack the venues. They really get into our live show, which is what really stood Rat apart. I thought I was reading that weird, from so many bands of that era. There you go. There's something about the Atlantic years. Go listen to the last episode if you want to hear that. Let's get into your comments, you fine folks. Remember, there's going to be no Mike Buchanan this week, I believe, because he said that he was going to Canada to fight those fires. Him and his wife were going to go out there. So there's probably no jokes. We'll find out. Vermont Bread says, get the Cam Jam. I don't know what that means. Please tell me. Miss Althea coming in, the dumbstruck fool says, props Rob Halford for advocating for prostate health. Please, boys, take care of your boys. And girls, take care of your girls. That is all that needs to be said, really. Yes. You know, it's a medical file. The guy doesn't get on TikTok and talk about your prostate exam or whatever, you know. It's just you get in there, you do it, you're alone. It's not a group of people, unless you do one of those medical clinics where they're teaching, you know, he's like an ass doctor is teaching young folk to be ass doctors, and they might ask you, hey, do you mind if everyone watches me do this? Miss Althea on Stephen Piercy. I don't think we need a regurgitation of the history of the Sunset Strip. What has me muddled about the story, though, is the statement about a one-page replica tour book in the description of the box set. How the hell is a tour book all of one damn pages? Yes, indeed. Milton Berle. Okay, we'll just read her comment because I think she's going to explain what we're going on about Milton Berle about. That's the dude, the rap video. Milton Berle is the old-time comedian with the big hunk of junk, whose name was escaping you. And to piggyback on Mike B's comment about rat bad blood, yes, Bobby Blotzer is, and I think always has been, the catalyst. So he's the bad blood. They call him Bobby Bad Blood Blotzer. Yeah. Miss Althea on Wolfgang Van Halen. We got a double dose. He has a lifetime of weight on his shoulders just for being Eddie's son. It is unfortunate and unfair that he comes under so much fire for being honest about not wanting to play VH songs, etc. Just leave the kid be, y'all. I would like to think that Eddie is more proud of him for being his own person and stepping out from a shadow. 100%. All fathers will tell you. I mean, I guess those ones that are like, I was a, football player, you're going to be a football player. But for the most part, yeah, you want your children to go above and beyond. He doesn't want his son to sit there and, okay, son, here's my catalog. Go do that for all of your life, too. He's saying, no, Go be you. You be you, son. You be you, little chub. Give me a squeeze on those chubby chubs before you head out the door, Wolfgang. Miss Althea on Gwar. Is Tammy, Queen of the Dirt, related to Priscilla, Queen of the Desert? That's a good question. I know probably not even worth writing, but I still had to put it out there. It's 100% worth writing. Why does that sound familiar to me? Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. I like Tammy, Queen of the Dirt. Probably. They took it from that, probably. A special message to Mike B. from Miss Althea. Please enjoy your trip to Canada and be careful. The residual smoke from the wildfires made its way into Maryland, and it looked, felt, and smelled very apocalyptic here for about 2.5 days. That was not fun. Yeah, I heard it was bad. I heard they're like, like the toxic level or whatever they call it, like red alert air is like 300 and it was like 370 or something. It's crazy. Miss Althea, regarding how much the pregnant Midge doll. Yes, okay. How much the pregnant Midge doll's going for. From the Barbie family is worth. It goes for up to $150 on eBay in mint condition. I thought it would be a hell of a lot more than that. Yeah, I thought that it would be at least in the thousands. Shit, you go on there right now, buy it for 100. You got an extra $150, and you're a fan of conversation, and you're like, they were talking about this pregnant doll. I bought it online. Now I just have it on the shelf. Here we go. Miss Althea, even though they were both working for WCW, Miss Elizabeth and Macho Man were long since split when Dan and I met them. Yeah, they were still working together professionally, but The exact date was June 16th, 1996, and Baltimore was the host city for the Great American Bash pay-per-view. We hung out at the hotel all day and met just about every wrestler on the card. Did any of them have cocaine on their nose? And we have the pictures to prove it. Great song by Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, if you get a chance, pictures to prove it. I was mad crushing on Kevin Nash, formerly Diesel in WWE. At the time, so that was a kick. We had fantastic seats for the pay-per-view and turned out to be facing the main cameras. So if you watch any given match from that event, you can spot us there. Hot damn! I love that. Excellent. All right, there's your heart. I'm very scatterbrained. Here we go. And you're getting a thumb for that. You made me giggle. You make me smile like that Cracker song. Mark Ellis coming in here. I think you're ready to tackle Gary Newman's Cars. Great song. There's a documentary about Gary Newman because he's trying to do some fresh new hits. Fun fact, Gary Newman he's a jet pilot, I believe. You can double check me on that and give me a double thumbs down if I'm wrong, but I believe he can fly a fighter jet. There's your heart, buddy. Okay, this is just Bob here. Heather Thomas was in The Fall Guy. Right. Yeah. So not $1 Million Man or whatever the hell it was. There's your heart. King Snake Jake, Milton Berle. The long junk in the trunk or whatever Miss Althea said there. There's your heart. Very quick and precise this time around. One-liners. Jolly Jake. That was 1/6 synth riff after the damn it. Bravo, Maestro. He said bravo and Maestro. That's a thumb. All right, get out there. Do what you got to do. Be what you got to be. Say what you got to say. You can do it. I know you can. Get out there and seize the day. Okay? Oh. We just got a beat. We're gonna go cray cray. We're going cray cray. Oh. Sorry it's taking so long. I'm just really trying. Come on, baby. Give me a good sound. In my car, I can go far. In cars. In cars. Here in my car, I can jive all night. Jive and fight, I can jive it all right. Jive at me, jive at me, jive at me and go, baby, yeah. It's really falling apart. Jive. All right, I'm done. Hip hop.